Now for something completely different. In truth, not just different. Real knock me down with a feather and call me Nancy unblooming believable. I find myself supporting someone I've seen in the past as a shrill, pious irritation. No, I'm not referring to Afua and her demand to level Nelson's column, turn the area into a botanical garden celebrating the flora and fauna of Africa, nor Rachel's loopy Lib Dem lunacy. Rather, I find myself defending the impossibly pompous Commons Speaker John Bercow. Now, let me be candid. I think he needs to honour his promise and go later this year, as he vowed to do on his election, and an investigation into claims of bullying, which he denies is a necessity. However, to be investigated for using the word stupid to describe a cabinet minister is absurd. The Commons, like many other workplaces, is a robust place. Scarcely a day passes when the thought police, though, tell us what we are allowed to say or think. It's nuts. And anyone supporting this snowflakery is, well, stupid.
I actually have... I find this a bit of a difficult one.
OK.
The reason I find this difficult is, as you probably know, I have a zero-tolerance attitude towards bullying in the workplace. Sure. I think there should be no place for it.
Yeah.
I think we should be more willing than we have in the past to call it out. And I think that for a role like the Speaker, where you are responsible for discipline in the House, it is especially important that you have people's confidence that you are someone who behaves fairly and professionally.
Yes.
The thing...
He denies any bullying.
He denies any bullying.
That, yeah. I mean, this is a debate on using the word stupid.
It is a debate on using the word stupid. I suspect that the reason it's being taken so seriously is because these other allegations of bullying, which haven't been proved, which he denies, are also in the mix. I also have a little sympathy for him in the context where he made that remark, because it was the government trying to abuse the rules to use time that should have been used for Grenfell Tower to make a government speech, which I can see why he was frustrated, and I can relate to that. But I don't think we should be dismissive of this kind of thing. And I think you're belittling the idea of stupid, and it does sound a little bit trivial in the scheme of things. But I think that it wasn't, for me, stupid. It was stupid woman.
Yeah.
It was the fact that he mentioned her gender, and that there is a history of people weaponising women's gender against them.
Really grateful. I want to turn to Majid.
We just need to get in... the Speaker's office have made a statement on that, and they've said, Mr Speaker strenuously denies that there is any substance to any of these allegations. Mr Speaker has a superb team of dedicated, effective and long-serving staff, 5 of whom have worked for him very happily for a combined total of over 40 years. So that's the statement from the Speaker's office. It was important to get that in there. That's regarding the bullying. But on the word stupid, I imagine he was talking about a woman, so I don't know if it's the fact that she was a woman that he called her stupid for, or perhaps just because he felt she was stupid. But I think sometimes it was a woman, right? So I think if he called her a stupid man, she may have taken offence because she's not a man. I mean, I think the word stupid is a very relatively mild form of arguing in the workplace.
Hang on, let's just
before we go
finish.
I just want you know, he's also responded to that word stupid specifically as well. Let's hear what he has to say.
I used the word stupid in a muttered aside. That adjective simply summed up how I felt about the way that day's business had been conducted. Anyone who knows the Leader of the House at all well will have not the slightest doubt about her political ability and her personal character. I love this House. I respect all of my colleagues. I hold you all in the highest esteem.
I just worry that if we're not even allowed to use the word stupid in the context of a little spat at the workplace anymore, it becomes so censorious that we can't express our true feelings in a conversation. It's just tough, you know.
This became a story because of the allegations, which we have to make clear that he has denied. He has a reputation for this. News and I did a report last year from his office. Also, his old private secretary, Angus Sinclair, who resigned in 2010, was paid off not to speak about this, then did speak and said he was a bully. Another lady from his office was asked to be moved because of so-called bullying, which he denies. We have to be clear on that. But, you know, this isn't just any workplace. This is the House of Commons, where the rules on politeness and respect are enforced ruthlessly. But, no, let me finish this point. By the thing. And it was interesting that Bercow himself, 2 years ago, introduced a 16-page guide. Let me tell you, it was called The Rules of Behaviour and Courtesies in the House. And I'm pretty sure there wasn't a sidebar, part 55, which said you could call women
Why do you
stupid.
find you so passionate about this?
OK, well, let's get
I
back
am
from Rachel
wondering
to
about your
Rachel.
motives.
I
I think we
nice.
saw from John Bercow that he, who does love the sound of his own voice.
Yes, unquestionably.
I think that was a pitch to keep his job a bit longer. I mean, my anxiety about this topic is that I sort of feel that people should be able to let off steam in the workplace. Yeah. Otherwise, what they say in public to your face and what they say in private behind your back, there is such a chasm that I think it's rather unfortunate. I think that the lady in question actually responded rather well to what happened, and she didn't take it serious. She didn't take it over seriously, and this was her response.
As you said last week, Mr. Speaker, we have a responsibility to safeguard the rights of this House. And as Leader of the House, I seek to do exactly that, treating all members of Parliament with courtesy and respect. Yeah. I hope and expect all honourable and right honourable members to do likewise. Yeah.
Actually, I've been extremely rude and unpleasant about Andrea Leadsom in the past, in print, and she's made me feel much better to say it to her face and take the consequences.
Can I just remind you of another time that I feel gender was a factor in condescending behaviour in the House? This is David Cameron.
Calm down, dear.
In 2011. Who could forget it?
Exactly.
But he's now a GP. He says, hold on. Calm down, dear. Calm down. Calm down. Listen. Listen to the doctor. Calm down and listen to the doctor.
It makes, just re-watching that, it actually got me almost as annoyed as you guys.
If I can just interrupt you for a moment, Ducky, it's quite a... I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Let's just play, because we're a bit of a clip fest, but this, for me, sums it up about where your brother works, where we just saw David Cameron, where we saw everybody else, and a very respected politician, Ken Clarke.
If every time a member of this House has felt moved to say under his breath something rather abusive about another member, action was taken, the chamber would be deserted without considerable quantities of time. Would you not agree it's best to leave this to the body that is now investigating it, and perhaps hope that some common sense will be applied to this rather overheated subject?
Would you not agree with that? They'll never be able to do a day's work if we suddenly outlaw a word such as stupid. I
think it's difficult. I agree that we need to be realistic about the reality they work in. On the other hand, they are supposed to set the tone. They're supposed to be the people we elect. They're supposed to be our leaders. Come on, Nick, you can't disagree with that.
It is ironic that Andrea Leadsom, currently in her job as Leader of the House, is looking at questions of whether Parliament is sufficiently well equipped to deal with bullying and with rudeness after the Westminster scandal. So it would actually, it just seems to me the ultimate irony. And maybe that's why he doesn't feel too well disposed to her.
Seeing that clip of David Cameron, though, reminds me that the Speaker, otherwise known as Squeaker Bercow, has had to put up with a lot of flack himself. And David Cameron once said, John Bercow said, "I'm not happy," and then David Cameron said, "Well, which one of the 7 dwarfs are you then?" Remember that?
I do remember.
I mean, he's constantly being teased and belittled, literally belittled, for being of short stature.
Yes.
But do you not think
and
stupid
full of
woman...
Bit
himself.
off topic, respectfully, Rachel.
Yes.
It's whether you can use the word stupid is what we're discussing.
Is it?
But do you not think...
there aren't...
But you and I, as columnists, we'd never be able to put a column out if we're going to be fairly scathing about
We're taking all the
people.
colour out of language, guys. Come on.
I agree.
That's what we're doing. We're making everyone bland automatons.
My point was...
Or man, it just happened to have been a woman.
John Bercow has been driven to irritation himself because he's constantly being teased about being little. When he says stupid woman, sometimes people blow up.
He is little, you can't dispute that, but she's not stupid.
But she's a woman as well, isn't she?
And she's not stupid. So,
but if someone acts in what you perceived... If, for instance, every time Majid went on air at our radio station, he kept saying the wrong station or something like that, I'm perfectly entitled to say, he's a stupid bloke, he really is. He can't even name the radio station. And he's not going to take offence at that because he's stupid not to do it.
Especially if I said BBC instead of LBC.
That would really kick
That would really work out, wouldn't it?
The other thing he's alleged to have said but denied was a lot worse than that. And and I can't say it, but the other thing he's alleged to have said, so it wasn't just something...
But the investigation is about stupid woman, and that's what it turns on. If we can just pick on, which I think was actually one of the brightest points of the debate, when Majid says, it's rare for Majid, let's be honest about it, that you'll take all the...
Patronising behaviour in one case. Who would have thought?
You'll take all the colour out of the language, you will effectively have to... That is true, is it not?
That's what people said when when racial slurs stopped being acceptable in the workplace.
No.
Oh, you can't have fun anymore. Just have... in the 60s... language was normal, which now we find completely unacceptable. And every time it's killjoys and the political
stupid on the
correctness.
same level as N
I'm not.
or P,
But you know
are
what?
you?
As I've said, it wasn't the
did.
stupid for me. It was the woman. No, I'm not comparing the words.
You just said stupid is like the
I'm
N or
not
P
comparing the word. I'm comparing the idea that if you have rules about what it is and isn't acceptable to say, then you can't have fun at work anymore. I just don't buy that.